the Librarians, Monday, February 9th at 10/9 Central on PBS and the PBS app.
Tonight on Newswatch, federal judges order the Trump administration to dip into emergency funds to pay for SNAP benefits nationwide. Plus, state officials pass a new bipartisan district map just ahead of the deadline. And in sports, the OHSAA high school football playoff starts tonight. We'll have a preview of 10 first-round games around Southeast Ohio. Newswatch starts right now. Thanks for joining us and happy Halloween. I'm Haley Richardson. It's been a chilly Halloween so far here in Athens, but for more on what's coming up this weekend, let's hear from forecaster Calvin Stebbins.
Yeah, Haley, just like you were saying, it's been a chillier one out there. We did have this cold front move through our area over the past few days, which is allowing our temperatures to drop down into the mid to low 50s for most of the day. Now, in the upcoming days, we are going to see this low pressure system mix in with this cold front move into our area, causing that chance of rain to return heading into later weekend, early next week. But at least for Halloween, it's going to be dry, on the drier side of things out there. Taking a look at our surrounding areas, just south of I-70, 54 in Zanesville and 55 in Lancaster. Then through the Ohio River Valley, 55 in Huntington and 54 in Parkersburg. Currently in Athens, it is 53 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Those partly cloudy skies will be sticking around heading into tonight, where we'll see that overnight low of 37. So if you are going out for any trick-or-treating or Halloween festivities, make sure you bundle up because it will be a bit on the warmer side of cooler side of things out there tonight. Heading into tomorrow, those clouds will be sticking around. We'll see partly sunny skies with a high of 59 and a low of 37. Then heading through the early weekend, we're going to see much of the same heading into the early weekend. 59 heading into Saturday, then low of 37, then heading into Sunday, that chance of rain does return, 30% chance of showers, high of 59 and a low of 35. Then heading into Monday, partly sunny skies, high of 59 and a low of 35.
Thanks, Calvin. Federal judges in Rhode Island and Massachusetts ruled the government is required to tap into billions of dollars in emergency funds to help pay for food stamp benefits. Both judges rejected the Department of Agriculture's claim that it couldn't use contingency funds during the shutdown. U.S. District Judge John McConnell in Rhode Island said, quote, "The shutdown of the government through funding doesn't do away with SNAP. It just does away with the funding of it." The ruling comes one day before those benefits were set to expire. Millions of recipients will still likely face delays in getting their benefits. With Election Day just around the corner, residents of Trimble School District face a tax levy on the ballot for November 4th's election. The school district has been under some form of fiscal distress since December of last year. Newswatch reporter Charlie Lusk breaks down how the tax levy affects residents of Trimble school districts.
If you live in the Trimble School District, you have a very important choice to make this election cycle. You are being asked to approve or reject a 1% earned income tax that would go and fund the district. The school district has been under fiscal emergency since April and under state oversight since May. Some estimates see the school district facing an $11 million deficit by 2029. If the levy passes, it would raise an estimated $665,000 for the district. If the levy fails, more cuts by the district are likely, which has already cut 42 jobs since December. With everything in the bigger picture, Trimble School District residents have a lot to consider on November 4th.
To keep up with the latest updates on the tax levy, check out the WOUB website at woub.org. The Ohio Redistricting Commission passed a new congressional map just in time to meet their deadline. The map will make districts in Cincinnati and Toledo lean more red, while districts in Akron would go more blue. Yesterday, the commission held a meeting to introduce the map. Several members of the public spoke, with many criticizing the redistricting process.
To the majority of this commission, I ask, why haven't you followed the golden rule and adopted a fair map? Why are you so hostile towards the people of this state? Why do you want to cheat?
Ohio is one of several red states the Trump administration has been pushing to draw new Republican-friendly districts. States like Utah and Texas have already redrawn theirs, with several districts now leaning to the right. President Trump calls on congressional Republicans to make a dramatic procedural move. as the toll of the ongoing government shutdown expands to millions of Americans who rely on federal food benefits. Karen Kafer reports from Washington.
President Trump fresh off that trip through Asia and back in the U.S. and calling on Senate Republicans to take the so-called nuclear option, breaking the chamber's filibuster rule to end Capitol Hill's shutdown stalemate. Trump's call comes as critical food aid for tens of millions of Americans is slated to end over the weekend. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins said Friday that the department can't tap contingency funds for SNAP benefits unless the government is open.
It is a contingency fund that can only flow if the underlying appropriation is approved. And listen, even if it could flow, it doesn't even cover half of the month of November.
On Thursday, Vice President J.D. Vance and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy highlighted compounding air travel issues stemming from air traffic controllers and TSA personnel being on the job without pay.
You're seeing impacts of this shutdown on our airspace, and that means travelers are delayed, travelers are canceled. It has real problems.
In a late night post to Truth Social, President Trump said, quote, "It is now time for Republicans to play their Trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now." The Senate's filibuster rule requires a 60-vote threshold to move to a final vote on legislation and is designed to encourage bipartisan compromise. That's why Senate Republican leader John Thune has previously ruled out scrapping the filibuster to end the shutdown, protecting a safeguard that could block Democrats from passing massive reform legislation when they're back in power, something Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson warned about on Friday. Despite the president's urging, the shutdown will continue through the weekend and into next week as the Senate left town on Thursday and is not expected back until Monday. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafer.
The British royal family takes a big step in the controversy surrounding the allegations against Prince Andrew. The years-long scandal is part of the larger story about Jeffrey Epstein's victims and their demands for accountability and justice. Reed Binion reports.
Britain's Prince Andrew, a prince no more, his brother King Charles officially starting the process of stripping Andrew of his remaining royal titles and evicting him from the royal estate in Windsor. It's the royal family's strongest response yet to the disgraced prince's links to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
It's a moment about justice, right?
Epstein survivor Danielle Binsky responding to the news Thursday.
I think it was incredibly hopeful for survivors, and it's a glimmer of hope that we haven't seen in a really long time, if ever.
The years-long controversy over Andrew's friendship with Epstein intensified after the release of a posthumous memoir by Virginia Giuffre, who alleged Andrew sexually assaulted her when she was a teenager. Andrew has repeatedly denied all allegations against him. He claimed he never met Giuffre, who died by suicide in April at the age of 41. On Thursday, her family released a statement reading in part, quote, "Today, an ordinary American girl from an ordinary American family brought down a British prince with her truth and extraordinary courage." Giuffre's brother also spoke out on Thursday.
I think this is a big sense of vindication for her from not just the general public, but from the king himself to say, I stand by survivors.
Buckingham Palace also released a statement reading in part, quote, "Their Majesties wish to make clear that their thoughts and utmost sympathies have been and will remain with the victims and survivors of any and all forms of abuse." I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The First Lady's office says public tours of the White House will resume in December after being paused during the East Wing teardown. The new tour will feature an updated route that avoids debris from the East Wing demolition that is making way for President Trump's new ballroom. The December tours will feature the White House Christmas decorations on the state floor. The decorations in each room will be designed and curated under the direction of First Lady Melania Trump. Tours of the White House used to start at the East Wing, where visitors went through a wood-lined foyer into the East Colonnade. Those structures no longer exist, and it isn't clear where the tours will begin now.
Days after Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica, parts of the island remain inaccessible.
They are cutting their way on foot through blocked roads. By foot. This is not easy.
Emergency officials are picking up the pieces and clearing roads to reach isolated communities in need of relief. Torrential downpours and forceful winds unleash widespread destruction across the Caribbean, damaging homes, causing severe flooding and widespread power outages, and forcing the evacuation of hundreds of thousands.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was devastating. It was, and the wind and the rain. It was unprecedented.
In Haiti, Melissa did not make a direct landfall, but was still deadly and caused flooding. In Cuba, roads are also covered in mud and trees, leaving many communities isolated from help. Cuba is already receiving some aid from partners such as China and Venezuela, as well as the United Nations. But Jamaica took the heaviest battering. Melissa made landfall there as a Category 5 storm, with estimated maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour.
I think the entire Jamaica is really broken. We're working to get to those who need as much assistance as possible.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio activated the Regional Disaster Assistance Response Team on October 29th. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Coming up, it's the spookiest day of the year, but it doesn't have to be scary. As you head out to trick or treat, hear what you can do to avoid unnecessary safety scares.
I'm here at Walter J. Hodges Stadium, where the Granville Blue Aces are just minutes away from kicking off the first round of the playoffs against the Sheridan Generals. We'll have previews on this game and 9 other playoff matchups across Southeast Ohio after the break.
Nothing like the Revolutionary War had been fought. It's the radical idea.
Ordinary Americans won the war. I don't think you can be patriotic enough about them.
Everyone's convinced the virtue of the cause is helping them win.
Can you feel the moment?
The American Revolution changed the world.
With a story unfolds.
Everybody had the sense of possibility worth fighting for.
What took place here still leaves us in awe.
We can work towards equality together.
Wow, this is the missing piece. Incredible.
To confront these figures from ancient history is a great privilege.
Our history tells us who we are, where we came from.
And it's all connected. Like links in a chain. Like links in a chain, yeah.
All I can do is say thank you.
Wow, this is phenomenal. I'm really grateful for this.
Ukrainian forces have now launched their much-talked-about counter-offensive.
Expected to be the biggest military operation in Europe since World War II.
This war is a nightmare none of us can wake up from.
Premieres Tuesday, November 25th, 10, 9 Central, only on PBS.
Season. I'm Stephen Caroli, and it's week 11 for high school football in the 7-4-0. We got 10 different playoff openers featured on Gridiron Glory tonight. We got just enough time to go through all of them, and let's preview some of the action starting right here in Granville. Now, Sheridan out of Thornville missed the playoffs last year. This year, they're back in as the 9 seed. 7-3 overall on the year, finished just short in the MVL Big, but a big win in Week 10 against the then undefeated New Lex Panthers. They got a comparable opponent tonight in 7-3 Granville. Staying in Region 11, let's go to the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs, who are slotted in as the 7 seed with a 7-3 record as well. This team usually known for their high-powered offense, but defense, a point of emphasis as they take on 10-seeded Lyndon McKinley. Let's head over to Region 12, and we're going to look into Chillicothe and Carte Ligon. He has been lighting defenses up all night, but as the 9 seed, they'll head on the road to 8-seeded Archbishop McNicholas, who features a stout defense. Into Region 15 we go, and we land on Gridiron Glory's game of the week. 10-seeded Philo traveling to take on 7-seeded Circleville. A tough 6-4 Philo team coached by Dirk Linscomb comes off an upset to Morgan, who will face off against a confident Circleville who just upset Bloom Carroll in Week 10. still in Region 15 here, and Fairfield Union 6 straight dubs to end the year at 6-4, and they grabbed the 8 seed. Only one playoff win in school history there, and they'll look to handle business against a solid 9-seeded Heath. We got one more game in Region 16 tonight, and that features the FAC's Washington Courthouse. Courthouse looking to show the connection of QB Sam Pfeiffer and wideout Aiden Osborne. The two have combined for 14 touchdowns on the year, and they host a 9-seeded 4-6 New Richmond. Follow me now to Region 19 as 9-seeded Morgan just upset Philo in Week 10 as a 15-point underdog. They have momentum but run into Caden Murphy and the 8-seeded Cole Grove. Caden Murphy and company coming fresh off an OVC title. Staying in Region 19, here's a fun one with 10-seeded Zane Trace. Watch out for their tailback Bryce Johnson. Over 20 touchdowns on the year, and they face a great rushing attack as well regarding 7-seeded Valley. Watch out for Anthony Aaron in purple, who's led Valley to a home playoff game. Here's our final Region 19 game of the night. Amanda Clear Creek, who started off 2-4 this year, 3 wins of their last 4 to sneak in as the 12th seed. They got a tough opponent hailing from the OVC, the Portsmouth Trojans, ranked as the 5 seed, and they have won their last 4 in a row. Let's finish finally in Region 27, where Trimble has made the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row. They squeak in as the 12th seed and are slated against a high-powered South Gallia offense. Gallia is the 5 seed, broke the school record for points scored this season, and are looking for their 2nd ever playoff win. And yeah, Haley, this is really the best time of the year for football. And I'm really excited to watch the recaps of all the games tonight. I'll be on Gridiron Glory tonight with this game right behind me. Join me and my friends at 11:30 for all the action around the 740. Thanks, Haley.
Next on Newswatch, Disney pulls its channels amid a standstill with YouTube. The latest in the stalemate and when you can expect to watch your favorite shows again.
It's been a beautiful and dry Halloween, but rain is in the forecast. Stay tuned to see when that will be next.
After the break, but until then, be sure to follow us on Instagram and X to stay up to date on all the news in Southeast Ohio. And be sure to stay tuned for a new episode of The Wrap-Up coming tomorrow.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
This is Passport, your ticket to stream complete seasons, early releases, iconic series, and so much more.
This was perfect.
Donate to your local PBS station and start streaming today.
Art is important because it shows who we were, where we came from.
Through my art, I'm creating a more powerful woman within myself.
Inspiration is everywhere. It's important that we learn our culture, our practices. We are tied to the land. That's our blood. That's where we come from.
Saturday at 9 on WOUB.
CasualWorks was not designed, created, or maintained by people who studied disability. They're people who studied opportunity. If a person has very limited movement and can make little teeny circles, there's a place for you. The idea of workers contorting themselves to a job is one business model. Our business model is that the job responds to the worker.
You know, it's been a pretty chilly Halloween so far. Did you ever trick-or-treat as a kid?
Yeah, I loved going out there. This was always my favorite time of the year, just going out, just celebrating the holiday, getting candy and treats and all that.
Absolutely. Did your parents make you put jackets over your costumes?
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't want to get sick out there, especially when it gets a little cold, on the cooler side of things out there.
I remember one Halloween we got snowed out because there was a blizzard in the middle of October.
Oh my gosh.
But now we turn to forecaster Steve Nedlick, who is live in Athens on the street.
Yeah, guys, we're out here on Wallace Avenue, and we're seeing a lot of trick-or-treaters out here. We've had some really interesting costumes that we've seen. We've seen everything from Fortnite characters to even storm chasers with a tornado as their little kid. So it's been a really awesome night out here so far. But now we're kind of looking at the weather. It's been a pretty perfect night for trick-or-treating because we had some clouds move in that are going to help keep it a little bit warm as we head later into the night, because when we got here we had clear skies, but now as the night has progressed we've had some clouds move into our region, and then that's going to help keep a little bit of the warmth in for these trick-or-treaters as they keep going tonight until about 7:30. And then if we take a look here, we're kind of seeing a little bit of a lull in terms of trick-or-treaters, but we've had different waves here and there. But now we're just kind of experiencing the last little bit. We've seen some clouds run out of candy, but there's still plenty of trick-or-treaters out here right now. And we kind of just keep having people walk up to us, asking what's going on, and we just keep telling them, we're out here just getting you guys shots of what's happening. We're having people walk by now that are dressed up as zombies, Fortnite characters, and it's just a great time out here. Yeah, we just had a great time out here so far. The weather is perfect for it, so we're just gonna stay out here and keep enjoying the night. So perfect Halloween weather for us, so we'll send it back inside to you guys with more.
Yeah, just like what Steve was saying, it's a beautiful night out there, and I actually had a beautiful day out there as well. We're starting to see a high pressure system starting to develop just down to our south, which kept those skies clear for most of the day. But as the day has progressed, we're starting to see some low pressure systems just starting to form to our east, which is bringing back all those cloud coverages. Now, in the upcoming days, we're going to see this low pressure system by the Wisconsin-Canadian border get brought down, and alongside with that, a cold front attached to it. That will bring back that chance of rain heading into the late weekend, heading into early next week. But it's a beautiful night out there for trick-or-treating and any festivities. Now, you might be asking yourself, what should I be wearing out there tonight? Well, we're going to see an overnight low of 37 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So I'd recommend wearing sweatpants, a jacket, maybe a hoodie and a hat, because it will be a bit on the cooler side of things out there. Then heading into tomorrow, those clouds will be sticking around with partly sunny skies. We'll see a high of 59 and a low of 37. If we take a closer look at our surface analysis heading into tomorrow morning, we can see these high pressure systems just down to our south. We're going to see this low pressure system just to our north. Heading into tomorrow night, that low pressure system will continue to track just to our north, and these high pressure systems will get pushed down to our south. Heading into Sunday morning, that low continues to track just to our north, and now we're starting to see where all this rain is starting to develop and occur. And then heading into Sunday night, that low pressure system and high pressure system just they flip-flop, and we're going to start to see some rain moving into our area heading into Sunday, Monday areas. Taking a look at our 7-day outlook, heading into Sunday, that chance of rain will return, 30% chance of rain, high of 59 and a low of 35. Heading into Monday and the rest of the week, we're going to see fall-like temperatures, highs in the mid to high 50s and mid 60s. Just a beautiful fall week out there.
Thanks, Calvin. While Halloween is a day of fun and frights, it also has plenty of risks. Mandy Gaither has the 5 dangers trick-or-treaters need to avoid tonight.
It's a day filled with carved pumpkins, costumes, and candy. But before you head out this Halloween, make sure your trick-or-treaters stay safe.
It can be dangerous for lots of different reasons.
Dr. Manisha Agarwal with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says there are 5 Halloween hazards to keep in mind today. First, costumes can cause a child to trip, so she says to make sure it fits properly, and if there's a mask, make sure the child can see through it. Second, nighttime visibility is a hazard, so make sure the trick-or-treater can be easily seen at night, even if their costume is dark.
Think about adding reflective stickers and other designs that might make it easier for your child to be spotted by people who might be driving by.
Third, being a pedestrian at night can also be dangerous. Agarwal says to stick to sidewalks, go over how to safely cross a road, and if there's a car, make eye contact with the driver before crossing.
It's also really important to remind our older kids and teens to stay off their phones. Yes, distracted driving is a thing, but so is being a distracted pedestrian.
Fourth, some candies can be a choking risk to young children, especially if they're running around. So Agarwal says to keep treats like hard candies away from little ones. And finally, watch out for cannabis, which can look like candy.
It's really important to carefully check the labels of your child's candy or any other goodies they bring home.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
You won't find Disney channels on YouTube TV, at least until the two can come to an agreement. Disney's channels were removed from YouTube's pay TV platform after the two media giants failed to reach a new carriage agreement before yesterday's midnight deadline. The blackout leaves subscribers unable to watch content from Disney networks, including ESPN, ABC, Disney Channel, FX, National Geographic, and Freeform. The two companies remain in talks, although neither indicated when customers can expect programming to resume. The FAA is investigating a slight control issue after a JetBlue flight made an emergency landing. The airline says Flight 1230 was headed to New Jersey from Cancun when the plane experienced a drop in altitude. Data from Flight Radar 24 says the plane fell roughly 100 feet within 7 seconds. It was then diverted to Tampa International Airport to land, where medical personnel was on hand. More than a dozen people were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. No word yet on the cause of the descent. Still ahead, the newest resident makes his big debut at the Columbus Zoo. Stick around for the latest details on his name and when you can meet the calf.
Every city has its share of savvy hustlers. And it turns out, pigeons are the epitome of street smart. Social, intelligent, agile, and tough. How did the humble pigeon master the urban hustle?
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
This is our chance to prove ourselves.
Here's to possibilities. Well, then we best get started.
There's much about me that you don't know.
You're persistent, I'll give you that. You have been busy.
Justice never sleeps. Every time I see you, there are more of you, and we're even more successful.
You are many things. You're not boring.
Let's not get carried away. We are going to do this together. I'm really impressed.
We're looking for 3 tons of gold. It's murder. We have a match.
Probably just coincidence.
Nope.
There's never a dull moment.
Miss Austen.
Miss...
Scarlett.
Miss Austen was sister to the great lady novelist Jane Austen.
What's she doing here?
My name's...
I know exactly who you are.
The lady detective. It's Scarlett, isn't it?
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett!
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett.
Come along.
The Columbus Zoo's newest member, a baby elephant, is now ready to be viewed. Through this weekend, you can see the calf indoors from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Starting next week, viewers can see the calf every day during those same times. The calf is a little over a week old and has been spending most of its time bonding with its mother. The zoo has yet to release the calf's name, but officials say they will announce it soon. This is the second baby elephant born this year. That's never happened in the zoo's nearly 100-year history. Well, I don't know about you, Calvin, but I want to know what this elephant's name is.
Yeah, I mean, I think a great name for that baby elephant would be Horton. For Horton Hears a Who. I think that would just be beautiful for it.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Now look for a final look at weather.
So tonight we're going to be a bit on the cooler side of things. We're going to see an overnight low of 37 with partly cloudy skies. Now, heading into the rest of the week, that chance of rain will be returning heading into Sunday. We'll see that 30% chance of showers, high of 59 and a low of 35. Then heading into Monday, those clouds will be pushed out of our area. We'll see a high of 59 and a low of 33. Heading into Tuesday, much of the same, partly sunny skies, high of 59, low of 37. Wednesday, we'll see a bit of a warm-up, partly sunny skies, high of 64 and a low of 39. Then we'll see cool down heading into Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high of 57, low of 32. Then we're going to see another low pressure system move into our area, 20% chance of showers, high of 59 and a low of 46 for Friday.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Calvin Stebbins and Steve Nedlick, I'm Haley Richardson. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next, and have a great night.